us a lot. And after the interview, the team was in touch with us regularly, and we asked questions 24/7, and they were there to help us. And till now, also, even after joining the campus, Akhilesh sir, Naveen sir, and everyone is helping us. And I would especially like to thank both of them, like they are our mentor right now and will always be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mansi. Guys, so this is going to be more of like, I think most of you have already come yesterday. Anyone having their first class today?
Yes, sir. First
Having a
Yes,
class.
class.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Having
So we can have a session later, after we are done with the interaction session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, so that because I think it will be repetition for rest of the guys, so it won't be fair to them. All right. So we have today Mansi, Mr. Avasthi, and Venus Malik with us. Venus Malik is pursuing MDes from NIFT Delhi. She's in the second year right now, doing her graduation project. We have Mansi, Mr. Avasthi, doing MFM from NIFT Bangalore, and she's in the first year right now. Okay. I guess you guys might have, might be having some questions in regards to MDes and MFM, and how they had studied, how their experience was with us, how they studied, their study, on their own self study, as you call it. All right, so you can ask questions from them, but before we get into that, I would like to request Venice to share her experience with her MDes preparation and what it is like to be in college right now.
Hi, Akhilesh sir. How are you?
I'm good, good. How are you?
Good. Hi, everyone. My experience regarding preparation of MDes. First thing that when I came from engineering background, first thing was to open up my mind and first understand art and design as a concept itself, which Pehel helped me do, by doing small activities like designing a book cover or playing around with materials like clay or wires and things like that. So once that basic your brain opens up to kind of basic creativity and you start exploring things, then you kind of move on to understanding what do these institutions want from you and what kind of candidate are they looking for, and kind of match your wavelength to what they're looking for. Then you go for um, looking at all the question papers that are available from previous years, trying to solve them and things like that. So from there you get a basic understanding of what is the level that these people are expecting. I'm sorry, there was a yeah. So what is the level that they are expecting? How do they think? What kind of questions they want from us? So that is kind of your second stage of preparation. First, you open up your brain. Second would be you understand what they want from you. Third is when you kind of go the extra mile and make your portfolio to kind of express that. How do you express creativity? Uh, what is unique about you, and what does design mean to you, and what kind of design can you do? So things like that. So that's a third stage. So when Pehel helped me kind of understand these and also practice question papers, and we could interact with a lot of seniors. At my time, we interacted with a product designer from NID, and all of our teachers have obviously has experience of NIFT, and then we kind of practiced a lot of question papers, and finally when it came to making portfolio, we kind of went in our own directions and started doing something unique about us. But at the same time, what teachers like what they really helped us with is key. Sometimes you have an idea but you don't know how to execute it. So that time you can always come back to them and be like, I want to do this kind of thing, can you help me with how to put it together in one place? So they can guide you in that way. And my GDPI experience for MDes. So for group discussion, we were actually given um, a case study on one of the brands. So my group got a case study on Patanjali. So they mentioned how Patanjali, what is unique about this brand, or how this brand came up and became really hit. So it was a paper, just all of this information was there. We were all supposed to read the information, and we had to take out our own opinions and derivations out of it. So basically, we were supposed to discuss about, we were asked our opinion, ki, how do you think that this brand became such a big hit, or what was so special about this brand that people immediately trusted it and it became successful. So in group discussion, it's not like everybody's speaking together. We are all sitting there, 10 to 15 people, and first one by one we put our points, and then we are given a chance to kind of counter each other's point. And at a third stage, we are asked to kind of from our point of view, whatever we understood from everybody is supposed to conclude their own things. So that's how group discussion goes, and it's a very fair chance to speak. So whenever it's your turn to speak, you should make a good point which makes sense, and give them a new insight about whatever understand in that brief moment. Then in personal interview, for NIFT especially, what happened was everybody kind of came up with a portfolio, but they strictly told us to keep our portfolios outside, because their criteria of personal interview is not like that. But if you go for NID or SEED, your portfolio is everything for them, because they see your design through your portfolio, but NIFT has a different criteria. So this is only for NIFT MDes. Please don't confuse it with anything else. Go to any other interview without a portfolio, it will make no sense. In NIFT personal interview, what they want to know from you is what have you done in your background. So basically, if they are taking candidates in their college, they need to know that they are taking good resources. So suppose I have done computer science engineering. So how much do I understand computer science engineering, and what knowledge will I bring in into? So when they take 40 students, they want a diverse set of 40 students. They want somebody to be an advocate, somebody to be an engineer, somebody to be I don't know, from medicals, from psychology and things like that. So that when all of these students sit together in a class, they can come up with a new way of thinking, or new ideas, or new products. So that's why when you enter a personal interview, what they really want to understand is, what did you study in your bachelor's, and how interested you were in it, and then what knowledge do you bring in uh, to them. And third thing is, the question that they ask you is, how do you practice creativity? So there are various ways of practicing creativity. Some might sketch, some might dance, some might sing, uh, some might, I don't know, just make clay, interior design. There are a million ways of expressing creativity. So all they want to know is how do you keep your creative spirit alive? What do you do for it? And then you can give them few examples of what you do and how it goes. Then thirdly, they always ask this question, why do you want to do MDes? So this is the most important thing, because they know that 80% students will come up with the thought process that I want to be a fashion designer. I couldn't do fashion designing in bachelor's, so I want to do fashion designing in master's. So that's why I'm coming to NIFT. But the biggest problem is that shows that you're not well informed, that you have not read their website. So what they really want you to do is for you to understand what masters in NIFT offers, and then kind of decide that why do you want to do it? How does masters from NIFT fit into your life? What will you make out of it? Even if you don't know what you will eventually become, but you should always know what you are going to study in NIFT masters, and are you really interested in studying it?
Okay, I guess there's some error on the part, like might have got a call or something. All right. Yeah. So meanwhile,
Sorry, there was a internet glitch.
Okay, no,
Am
no.
I audible now?
Yeah, yeah. You can
Yeah,
continue.
Okay, so that was about personal interview. And if you have further questions on MDes, you can ask me. And currently, college life in NIFT. Sadly, 6 months went in lockdown, but college life in NIFT was, how do I say, really brain opening kind of experience, because it's just you start thinking in a different dimension than you used to think before, and a lot of new options come up in regards to what you can make your career in, and you're given a lot of freedom to choose what projects you want to do and how you want to do, and how practical your projects are. And as a master student, a lot is expected out of you also, that all of your projects should be very realistic, very practical. Big companies should be able to do use your research and things like that. So currently in my graduation project, I am expected to carry out a 6 months ka research, and the research has to be good enough for a really huge organization, really established organization, to use my research and find it useful, and things like that. So it's a big responsibility at the end. So that's it.
Thank you, Venice. I guess MD students might have some questions out here. You can just ask Venus right now. Any kind of questions. Okay, no questions, I guess. What? You guys don't have questions? That's great. Makes my work easier.
Sir, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, Nisha.
Sorry that my video is off since I'm outside.
Okay.
Sir, I have one question. Since uh, uh, I mean, she
Venus.
mentioned about that, Venus mentioned about that portfolio is not needed. So we don't
No.
really have to work for it, right?
No.
No, no.
Okay, so we should focus on our research things, like get informed
Yeah.
about things.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, there is also one thing that I have discovered regarding being informed about the current affairs. So, in what dimensions do we need to focus on?
Venus.
Uh, there is requirement as such. Uh, yeah, there is no specification or as such. Uh, what I would really advise is what everyone is passionate about. So one of my classmates has done his automobile engineering in his bachelor's, and he is really passionate about cars in general. So for them to test his kind of interest in cars and his interest in car design, they would just ask him all the things that are happening around car design. For example, I don't know which company took out which car, what do you like about it, and what do you think could be better about it, or things like that. So whatever field that you are interested in, or that you say that I know about this field, or I'm interested in this field, I would further like to go in this field. I so just like maybe just read around, which you anyways would, because you're really interested in that field. So like that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, to add further, there are like other fields of study as well. The graduation that you have done, okay, along with that politics related questions, your geographical location based questions, like if you're staying, let's say, studying in Lucknow, so Lucknow based political questions, like maybe who is your representative, MLA, MP, or something like that. So those kind of questions can be expected. All right. So we'll come to that in the class as well. All right. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, Anushka.
Good evening.
Okay. Okay, Muskan, ask your question.
सर ग्रुप डिस्कशन और पर्सनल इंटरव्यू में सर इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज बोलना जरूरी है?
No, not at all. You can use any language. That's fine.
I have a question.
Yes, Anushka.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking, if what if we don't have a specific hobby? What do we do then? I mean, when we have a hobby, let's say if I like painting or reading, then obviously I need to dig up all the information about all the authors and everything about it if I'm interested in one subject. But what if someone doesn't have any hobby. Like, I'm so boring and I don't really have any hobby. So what do I do in person?
What did you do in your bachelor's?
I did BBA,
You
bachelor's.
did BBA, and what got you, like, what made you change your mind and come to design?
So I've always been inclined to fashion since very early stage of my life. And NIFT was, it was a dream from very starting. But I don't know how I ended up pursuing BBA. I just don't think I remember what happened. But BBA actually contributed into my dreams a little, because after it was all about management and business, and eventually I want to become an entrepreneur into fashion.
You can
So
read things like there is a you can follow them on Instagram and also follow their website. It's called Business of Fashion.
yeah,
And
I have been reading the magazine of 2021.
yeah,
What happened in the
so
pandemic?
yeah, so you can talk about entrepreneurship in fashion. What are the trends in fashion? What are what's in general happening? What happened to fashion industry in pandemic? And what do you think can help build this industry back up and things like that? So basically, you're saying that your interest is fashion and you have a background of business. So you got to just mix them both and read about entrepreneurship in fashion, or what made a brand build up, or which is your favorite brand, and how do you think that that brand built up that way, or what could they change in it, things like that.
So, what if they ask me this question that what do you do to keep your creative spirit alive? How do I answer that? Because there's nothing creative in entrepreneurship. So how do I answer that question?
Actually, Nick, that's a notion that there's nothing creative in entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship in fashion is very tricky thing to do, because uh, um, entrepreneurship itself is a creative process, and we have a subject called entrepreneurship in MDes that
No,
is a choice
actually,
subject.
I'm from NFM.
Oh, you're for MFM. Okay, then it's no problem at all. It's not about creative spirit for MFM. What they're really looking for is uh, people who can get things done, who can calculate uh, whether this collection will be successful, who can calculate what are the trends and how much are they selling, and will this sell or not. The people who decide whether this collection should go out, for example, people who are decision making at Pantaloons or Max, or many other things. So what these people do is these people study the trends. For example, this kind of silhouette, not silhouette, but yeah, this kind of garments are selling, and why are they selling, and these kind of garments are not selling. So they do a lot of research and things like that. So what you don't really have to stress out about things. You can just in general read the brands that interest you, but like genuinely read about them. So maybe, I don't know, a luxury brand is really attracts your attention, so just read about how did the brand build up, how did they come up with it, and what really made them successful. Read about different management things that go around in fashion industry, uh, maybe management methods, or things like that. So I
It's
don't have any management background,
such a
but yeah.
vast scope, actually.
Management based questions will be answered by Mansi. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
For MDes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What kind of question will be asked in M design basically?
We will come to
Like
that
related
later.
to fashion?
We will come to that
Sorry?
later. That will be part of your curriculum based studies. We'll come to that
Okay.
later. Okay.
Okay, sir. And we can use both the languages in GDPI, like English and Hindi both.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Comfortably.
as much I heard that we can only talk in English. We can use only English.
नहीं, सो मेरे क्लास में एक लड़का है जो हमको 1-1.5 साल से हम उसको जानते हैं, पर आज तक उसने सिर्फ हिंदी में ही क्लास में बात की है, जवाब दिया है, सब कुछ. तो मतलब निफ्ट की फैकल्टीज आर वेरी इंक्लूसिव इन दैट वे. मतलब वो बहुत एनकरेज करते हैं कि कोई अपनी लोकल लैंग्वेज बोले और लोकल लैंग्वेज में कंटिन्यू करे. और तो व्हाट रियली मैटर्स इज कि तुम्हारे अंदर वो लाइक जो कंटेंट बोल रहे हो वो मैटर करता है. It doesn't matter कि कौन से लैंग्वेज यूज कर रहे हो.
Okay.
Can we use hello?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soumya.
Can we use both, like half of English and a half of Hindi? Like,
Yeah, guys, language is just a medium to convey your idea. It doesn't
okay,
matter.
okay,
What really
okay,
matters is ki what you want to speak, they should understand. It doesn't, you want to use sign language, you use that, but they should understand at the end. That's all. It
okay.
doesn't matter what you use. Yeah.
Hello, good evening,
Um,
everyone. Venus, I wanted to ask that is there will be a combined group discussion for MFM or an MDes, or they will be
No,
conducting it
No,
separately?
no, no.
it's
Same
separate.
question I had.
Separate, separate.
Separate, okay.
I have a question. What fashion topics should we focus on, like for
Those
MDes?
topics will be discussed as part of curriculum, Ruchi. Okay.
Okay, sir. And just one more question. Like, do we need to focus on fashion magazines also for GDPI like this?
Not much, not much. We'll tell you the topics and the various articles that you need to refer to. Okay. You don't need to
Yeah.
know everything about fashion industry, okay, each and everything. We will tell you what are the different aspects of fashion industry that you should know. All right.
You can know the basics from here, and then you can read about the field that you are interested in. I mean, my classmates, 90% of them never were interested in fashion. तो कोई ऑटोमोबाइल के बारे में पढ़ रहा था, कोई यूआई यूएक्स पढ़ रहा था, कोई हिस्ट्री के बारे में, कोई हिस्ट्री आर्किटेक्चर, बहुत डिफरेंट चीजें, कोई फिल्म मेकिंग में था. तो जो इंसान फिल्म मेकिंग में था वो तो like person was reading only about films and things like that. तो it doesn't matter. What really matters is कि उनको वैरायटी चाहिए. उनको सारे फैशन के बच्चे नहीं चाहिए. फैशन को सुन के तो वो खुद भी दूर भाग जाते हैं. वो 2-4 फैशन के बच्चों को लेते हैं जो जो इंटरेस्टेड है फैशन में, मतलब जिनको नॉलेज है फैशन की. बाकी उनको वैरायटी चाहिए. जितनी वैरायटी मिले वो लोग उतने खुश रहते हैं. तो एमडेस का
I
कॉन्सेप्ट
also
ही है.
want to go for UI UX thing. Like, I'm more into UI UX, so I should more focus on that topic, right?
Yeah, definitely. You should read about UI UX. You should understand what UX is, what the difference between UI and UX is. And you can talk about कि user
Yeah.
experience होता क्या है, सिर्फ वेबसाइट और फोन में होता है या फिर फिजिकल स्पेसेस में यूजर एक्सपीरियंस होता है. और कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं है कि तुम्हें चीजें पता ही होनी चाहिए, लेकिन बस दिखना चाहिए कि तुम्हें जेन्युइन इंटरेस्ट है. और जिस इंसान को जेन्युइन इंटरेस्ट होता है वो उसके बारे में बेसिक पता करके रखता है, वो उसको सीखने की कोशिश करता रहता है. तो वो इंटरेस्ट दिखना चाहिए था. दिस पर्सन इज ट्राइंग टू लर्न, ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड. एंड जो भी इंटरनेट पे इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल है, कम से कम वो उतना कंज्यूम करके आया है. तो दैट मच इंटरेस्ट शुड बी सीन.
Yeah.
Well, hi Venus, कैसे हो आप? How are you?
Hi sir, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Almost half an hour of this session is about to get over. I do have quick couple of questions for you, Venus, because I want them to know, because students are slightly confused. So it kind of a rapid, Well, a short introduction I want to tell about the Venus. He was one of the very active kind of, ये होता है ना सर्च वाला, ऐसे क्या करना है सर, ये क्या होता है ऐसे. You remember clay के साथ we started playing and then the whole day you are working with clay and then one day you have taken a challenge with wire जो नहीं इससे तो मैं बना के लाऊंगी and next day you have proved it, नहीं ये तो मैंने बनाया है. तो you should have that जिद, तो नहीं मेरे से होगा. The Venus profile is very different. As a profession she is an engineer. Then she was into modeling. She worked for all the recognized shows. If you have heard the name of Bangalore Fashion Week, Times Show, or many of the brands, like, I can't name the one or two, so it will be less. Better you guys visit the Venus Instagram page, so you will see her profile. And you will surprise you when she is getting the time for all this. Because she is in NIFT Delhi, where, like, the assignment burden is like, you could ask her rather than me. Because yeah, I'm 4 year back pass out, so she is having a current experience. तो आपको सारा मैनेज करना होता है लाइफ में. If you want to do it, you have to make it. So I'll not take it very long introduction or profile ये. And right now she is doing an internship, and that project also kind of she is enjoying it. So we were having a word with her. Venus, आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन जो मैं जानना चाहूँगा, बच्चों को जो अभी इंटर्नशिप में एमडेस के लिए स्पेशली जो मिल रहे हैं पैकेजेस, उसमें इंटर्नशिप में क्या क्या है, मतलब कितना एवरेज कितना है, या नॉर्मली कितने पैकेज मिलते हैं उनको, क्या हो रहा है, और हाईएस्ट क्या आपके क्लास
Highest.
No, not that 20 lakhs one, yeah, apart from that one. That is kind of says
Yeah.
ATM ने hire
Okay.
कर लिया है.
Classes 70 to 75,000
That's a
for
highest one.
internship.
Average, that's the internship amount in MDes.
Average 25 to 30.
And yeah, well, Venus, few more question. There is no cross question over here. We'll discuss later. They can find you and ask the questions. Maybe if you're not able to answer, just keep pass on this number. We'll answer them all the related questions. आपका category rank general में क्या था? Because many of the students they keep trying. I'm in general. What to do? आपका general में कितना rank था? What was your rank? How you got NIFT Delhi?
39.
Sorry.
39.
39.
39.
And you, yeah, 39. NID में आपका 17 था क्या? There is 17 also, right?
NID में मेरा 17 था, हाँ.
NID में 17 था, right? And she has taken NIFT Delhi में admissions. And how do you find the course? Like it's about to get over now. College में तो almost खत्म ही हो गया. I mean, now you are in industry doing your final year GP. So how do you see, like, this course? MDes from NIFT Delhi. If somebody getting an NIFT NIFT Delhi.
The course makes you very full, very diverse, ready to deal with any situation. So if you go to any other college, you will be very specific कि ये UI UX designer है, ये fashion designer है, ये तो तुम्हारे पास एक tag होता है जो तुम carry करते हो. But when you are from NIFT MDes, you carry a lot of diversity. So you're free to choose the kind of designer you want to be. So I would say there is a lot of freedom, there is a lot of flexibility. You can explore a lot of options, and you can go into any direction you want. So that's the concept of, that is, how do I say, a unique selling point of a NIFT Delhi student. So if a company is hiring them, they know that they're hiring a person with a lot of skill set. It's not going to be just one skill set कि इसको सिर्फ product design आता है या इसको सिर्फ ये आता है. So and the most important thing which any master's program focuses on is research oriented. So the difference between bachelor's and master's is, bachelor's में you're designing things, but they do not have that much depth or that much proof that this design is going to sell or it's going to work or things like that. In masters, what happens is not just you're designing, but you're responsible for doing the research and proving it कि ये काम करेगा. And your research is like your selling point कि that's what defines a master student, that you can do a research and you can kind of prove things.
Exactly. Yes, that's true. Well, how do you see? Because sometime it's come to MFM. I'll come back to preparation side of it. MFM, MFT, and then design. If any student is doing a preparation for any of this course for second round, especially for GDPI right now. So what is the similarity and what is the difference? Similarity क्या है और difference क्या है?
I can't talk about it because I have not seen how they interviewed at all.
Yes.
I can only talk about it.
Well, could you please share your experience? Rest meals here. We have Mansi over here. She will share the MFM details. So, quickly, could you please tell about MDes? MDes में क्या हुआ था? अपना बताओ.
MDes की प्रिपरेशन में सबसे बेसिक चीज ये थी कि जो भी एक बैचलर स्टूडेंट बेसिक सीखता है कर्स के या चीजों के, वो सब आप नॉलेज ले लेते हो खुद से बिफोर एंट्रेंस एग्जाम एंड स्टफ. GDPI में द मेन थिंग दैट रियली स्टूड बाय मी एंड दैट गॉट मी थ्रू द होल थिंग वाज कि I was just very passionate about designing things, and that used to reflect in whatever I used to say or do. So for example, if I was doing engineering, I was good at coding. And I was interested in technology. I was into modeling, so I could literally say ki I work with all of these designers and I'm into modeling and I really understand clothes, I understand business, I understand what sells, what feels good. And at the same time, I keep experimenting by redecorating things at my home. I try calligraphy, I have clay at home and I keep doing that. So what really stuck by me is they could see it through me that she's really, really interested, and maybe it's very filmy to say, but has the fire in her that she really wants to design stuff. तो वो एक laid back भी नहीं होता है कुछ, मतलब I think the interest in stuff which I had genuinely is got me through the whole thing. But for other people, they might not speak as much, but their interest comes out and shows in one or the other way. So whatever you're passionate about, it just shows through your conversations.
So kind of last question from my side, Venus. We'll come back to the MFM questions after that. So how do you see if somebody is preparing for 3 to 4 weeks for MFM, MDesign, MFT? Obviously, we'll teach, we'll guide them. So what do you suggest? Because आपके experience, because I see always you have a lot of work. During our shoot also, आपने मुझे एक दिन पहले बताया, sir, अब मुझे travel करना, मैं नहीं आ रही. So how do you see if somebody who is busy with couple of work and maybe pile up of things, and normally in master it's quite common, they may have something other things also to do. So how they should manage this preparation, especially for GDPR?
You can download Medium application and read a lot of articles that you're really interested in, and I'm sure so even if you have a job and you're working 9 to 5, all you have to do is after 5 p.m. when you come back home, just open your laptop or your phone and read the articles in the area that you're really interested in. You have lot of YouTube channels like Adobe Creative Cloud का खुद का YouTube channel है, Google Design का खुद का YouTube channel है, फोन पे डिजाइन टीम का खुद का YouTube channel है, Instagram पे इतने सारे क्या था, Design with Intent is a page on Instagram who literally takes interviews of designers all over the world, and these designers show you their studio and things like that. So just surf around. I mean, normally भी Instagram पे लगे ही रहते हैं सब सारा दिन, तो all you have to do is कि दिन में 2-3 घंटे तुम कहीं से भी निकाल के कंटेंट पढ़ लो about designers and about how they work and how things are done. And you can listen to podcasts on Spotify. I listen to a lot of podcasts of how certain fashion brands became successful, or read a novel or things like that. So it's very random. You don't have to worry at all. It's
very
very chilled
nice.
out, actually.
Very honest opinions are, and that will be really helpful for the kids. Like, make sure you follow all this, and after all this generals and blog, come back in the class and the practice here. So that goes, it's really important. Practically, you need to participate.
Yeah, actually, just one thing I want to point out कि मतलब पढ़ने के बाद you really need to know how to implement and where to implement. So like that really helps if you're sitting in a set of students and you're asked to implement your idea, then you know कि अच्छा implement करना is another task. So you will get used to it. So that's important.
I see there are half of your passive participant of this class. So this all things will improve, you should be active participant, then only you can do it. Maybe if your PI is again it like a PI, so that was online last year. So we'll go to Mansi now. We'll take her experience. How was her MFM PI last year? कैसा लग रहा Bangalore, Mansi? आप Bangalore नहीं हो ना?
It's good. And having you all as a senior is really amazing. Sir, I would like to tell about my interview, and because my GD got cancelled due to COVID.
आप भी थोड़ा अपना experience बताओ. We are really thankful for Venus. उन्होंने काफी कुछ बताया. And Akhilesh sir, we do have 20-minute time. Well, so we'll go back to Mansi. चलो मानसी जी, आप बताओ लास्ट ईयर का पीआई कैसा था? जीडी पीआई सडनली 2-3 मंथ क्लासेस एंड देन पीआई एंड में pretty movie climax based. तो क्या हुआ था बताओ?
My PI was very unexpected. Like they said, what do you want to become? I said I want to have my own venture and a sustainable venture. So just a word, I said I want to work with bamboo fiber, only bamboo, and my interview got twisted and every question was on bamboo. Like why India imports and exports bamboo, what are the properties of bamboo. So you should, whatever you say, you should have a deep knowledge about that. And the most common question is, why do you want to pursue MFM? Why not MDes? You have to convince them like why management and why not designing. and read the prospectus thoroughly, because you get to know about the DS subjects, IDM subjects, and the number of centers. They'll ask you how many centers are there that are offering MFM, and you'll say 14 or 15, and they'll say, are you sure? So they'll try to confuse you, and have a deep knowledge about whatever you are saying, and they'll check your previous knowledge also. And for few questions I didn't knew the answer, I directly humbly said, sir, sorry, I have no idea about this question, but I'll read about it. And do not panic, and do not camouflage things, like do not hide anything. They'll catch it. Like you said this, and now it is this. Because one of my friends said that he's working in the industry since 3.5 years. And when they calculated, the time was 4 years and 2 months. They literally told him, like, you joined this company in this year, so be sure whatever you are saying. And about GK, have a basic knowledge about your MPs, local MPs, MLAs, your CM, deputy CM, and read a little about management things like qualities of managers, and speak confidently and be honest. Like my personal experience said that you should be honest and have a deep knowledge about whatever you are going to say.
Well, आपकी कितने मिनट की PI हुई थी? How many
Sir,
minutes?
18 minutes.
Sorry?
18 minutes.
18?
Yes, sir.
Well, आपके knowledge में minimum कितने मिनट की PI हुई थी?
Sir, around 7 to 8 minutes, which was on bamboo fiber, and rest all was basic question like what is fashion, how do you see fashion, how fashion has evolved, how fashion has changed, and what you have done in the previous 2 years. Like I passed out in 2017, so they've asked about those 2 years, like what I've done. Like tell that you have done something productive in those years. Do not say, sir, I didn't know what I did. Yeah, I have no idea. I did nothing in that. I prepared for, but tell something, little things like you joined some online course or you studied some book. Have a knowledge. If you'll tell about any book, they'll ask about the author of that book. So be prepared. Just little things will bring you into the NIFT only.
True. It is true. And we'll take your suggestion and guideline for a student, obviously. Last year हमने बहुत मेहनत करा आपके साथ, इस बार आपको बताना है.
Yes, sir. So even my friend had an interview for 3 minutes only, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Correct. So minimum time is 2 to 3 minutes, average is 6 to 7 minutes, and you may have 15-20 minute PI also. Yeah. So they like Mansi, the way she interacting, so it counts quite big. So you do not get panic. And this question you all will ask later. I can see there is one more Mansi here for this year exam. I think Mansi Jan. Yeah.
Yes. Hi. Good evening.
Your name. So next year you will get Junior Mansi Jan in NIFT Bangalore. Yes. Mansi Jan, you are writing MFM exam or MDes? कौन सा देगा?
Yeah, MFM.
MFM. चलो कोई बात नहीं. Mansi Misra को follow करना.
Definitely.
Yeah, Anushka, you wanna ask something?
Yes, I want to know about the tentative score that Venus and Mansi got in GAT, so that we have an idea. Okay, they are in Delhi and Bangalore. They are top 3 institutes. So
for the rankers, you do not get any marks, Anushka. If you have not attained any, if you have not attained any rank, if not cleared the first round, then you get the marks.
No, they must have calculated on their answer key, right? Everyone has a clue. Then what was my score?
You can say if you remember in Mansi. If you remember it, you can say it.
Mansi?
Yeah.
You remember? What was the GAT score when you calculated from answer key?
I think I know my PI score. I think it was 26.5. I'm not sure. 25.5 or 26.5.
And any band you know for GAT?
Between 81 to 82, something like that.
And your general?
Yeah, general category.
Okay. So that's so it makes us like 70%.
See, when I opted for MFM, this was the first time when we had negative marking. Right. So you cannot compare whatever we say, like the shortlisted candidates to the previous batch.
The experience of the students who had attempted the questions, they had attempted the examination, before 2020 had a different kind of experience, because what they used to do was they used to go and, if the certain question they are not sure, because there's no negative marking, they used to opt any, they used to go to the gut feeling, just don't mark anything, right? And maybe out of 20 of such questions, maybe 5 to 6 were correct, right? So their capability and ability is quite different from what students experienced in last year and what you guys experienced this year, right? Because now you have negative marking.
So what was that cutoff last year when the negative marking was introduced?
I think it was around 58 or 60. This year, I think 66. The COVID situation changed a lot of parameters and dynamics of how MFM examination or MDes examinations are conducted and how the marking schemes have come. Okay, so.
And even I think for GD and PI, we'll have to be more aware of all the things happening around the globe, since there's so much information. So, like, I guess PHEL will help us, in taking all the important information rather than just skipping on to the 12 of, general knowledge.
Definitely. You can ask even Mansi to tell you better. Like, there were a lot of guidance classes, Mansi, if you can recall, right? So where we told you like what to study and what not to study, right? And
Yes.
when Mansi said that, that her interview was completely based on a lot of bamboo questions. Remember we had talked about, manipulating the interview as like, how we can guide the interview, not manipulate, but guide the interview in the direction, right? So those things also happen, isn't it? So we had told Mansi as well, going to sustainable bamboo business, you have to read about it. You have to have a business plan, how you're going to develop the business, what kind of bamboo what is the sourcing point, everything we had discussed earlier, right? And she was prepared for it, right? And we had talked after the interview, Mansi, yes?
Yes. We had a word. And I told, like, even I tried to twist my interview as well.
Yeah. I think
so even I tried to twist my interview. I started telling them about idiom, how bamboo is related to textiles, that idiom which I'm going to choose. But they didn't listen. Like, they were like, whatever I'm asking you to tell that only. But yeah, I had some knowledge about that, so it worked for me. But don't say a word or say anything that you don't know. At least have a basic knowledge about that.
Okay, hello, Mansi.
Hi.
Yeah, so when they asked you that which NIFT center is your favorite, so what should we answer?
I said I want to join NIFT Delhi.
Only. I mean,
I directly said I want to join NIFT Delhi, and they also asked me like, what rank do you expect? I said, sir, I expect rank in between 1 to 10, although I didn't score that, but still I confidently said I want NIFT Delhi. And he also said, do you want to join NIFT Kannur? Then I said, I can join NIFT Kannur. It is also equally good as NIFT Delhi, but my personal priority is to join NIFT Delhi.
Okay. And I think, which is more difficult, like JD or PI? I mean, which is more difficult?
See, we have prepared for GD also, but unfortunately GD was cancelled. It totally depends on, like, you in GD also you have to give chance to speak. Like, do not manipulate everything about it.
Excuse me, Mansi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me your GAT score, because I wasn't able to listen.
My GAT score was between 80 to 82. I do not. It wasn't something point like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Antesa, please mute yourself, yeah? If you have no question, yeah.
So hi Mansi, I have one question. I am a IT engineer, and I did my graduation. I completed my graduation in 2018. Since then, I'm an IT professional. I'm a tester by profession. So how can I relate myself into fashion? Like why? Like they ask me why. They will ask me why you want to pursue MFM. You have a good job. You have like a salary. So like how can I?
We'll come to that in the classes. Okay? We'll come to that in the classes. You can ask
Okay.
Nancy the questions about her experience, what questions she got, how was her college and everything. These are curriculum-based questions which will be answered in the class.
So one thing I want to add,
Yeah.
like, have a smile on your face. Like, they also like smiling faces. Don't be very nervous. They are also human beings. Have a smile on your face. And many people ask, like, what we should wear, formal, Western or Indian. I was wearing a typical Kasavu cotton salwar. So everything matters, but it is not all about dress and all. You have to be confident and you have to justify yourself. Like, you are the right person to pursue this course, to have this seat.
How has the experience been at NIFT Bangalore so far? So are they drilling you with a lot of assignments? I've been hearing a lot from alumni.
See, if you join NIFT, you'll have back-to-back assignments. But unluckily, like 1 week ago, I joined the campus, and we are in the second semester. So our campus is very good, but we have to join like for 3 hours daily. We have to go for 3 hours. So I hope within 1 or 2 months, the things will get better. But the life in the campus is really good. You'll get to know about the class. You'll get to know about the subjects, like about the supply chain management, omni-channel, and DS marketing and retailing. You have to choose one IDM subject also. Like, if you're going for interview now, they'll ask about the IDM subject. Do you know about IDM, interdisciplinary minors? So be prepared. Like I said, I want to join textiles as my IDM because I related my venture to that.
What is IDM? Like
interdisciplinary minors. So these are the minor subject which one department has to take from. Like I am from MFM, so I can't take IDM from MFM. I have to take from TD department, KD department, like knitwear design, leather design. So I have to opt for one IDM, and that IDM lasts for 3 semesters. So one subject you have to study for 3 semesters.
So do we need to study all, like, do we need to go through all the subjects from other courses so that we can decide what's IDM?
See, from MFM, we offer entrepreneurship to other departments.
Right.
Like that, Mdes also offers one subject to other departments. So you will get a list. You have to choose.
So in interview, they provide us list. In interview, they ask, what will you choose? And I'm clueless. Like, what are the subjects available at the first place?
These are campus based. So like some other campuses, they don't have everything, right? So your selections are based on the campus, this campus that you get. Okay. So once you get to the the campus, then you can get to know, okay, the teachers will inform in the orientation as to what IDMs and DS are available in your center.
Hello, Mansi.
Hello.
Can I just know like what type of GK questions would they be asking?
See, GK, they'll ask basic GK, like you know about your country, you know about your state, and what art and craft is followed in your state. Like from my state, I'm from UP, they'll ask about chicken curry and the other arts like in Muradabad, there is Pital Nagri. So what are the arts and culture followed? And with that also, they'll ask about the local MPs, MLAs, these normal questions. Like every Indian should be aware about them.
And will they ask any current affairs, for example?
Some of my friends were there in the interview, and they told me that they asked like, what was the first news that you have read today? So these basic questions, and it totally depends like what they are going to ask, but you should have basic knowledge. And if you don't know, simply say, sir, sorry, sir, I don't know this answer, and I'll read about it.
Okay, thank you.
Also, Mansi, does the campus, how does it, what do I say? What is the role of the center in our career? If I get Kannur or Delhi, how will I see my MFM career go? I mean, is it really that important? Like from outside, we think Delhi is the best, but from inside, you are inside and you know stuff. So,
yeah. See, I left NIFT Mumbai to join NIFT Bangalore. Because I left NIFT Mumbai to join NIFT Bangalore.
Oh.
So if you look at Bangalore, so it is more a hub for startups. So you'll get to know more things about management. But a campus plays a role. I say every campus is good, but still a campus plays a role, like in your learning, in your exposure. See, for example, if you are in NIFT Kannur, you have to move out to learn certain things. So if you'll put extra efforts, every campus is good.
Every
So
campus
what
will give you, different kind of experience. For instance, if you come to Bangalore and Delhi, right? Let's compare Bangalore and Delhi. So the people out there, the culture out there, okay, they shape a lot of things about how you think, how you feel, right? Along with that, the opportunities that are available in those cities also matter, right? For instance, some other centers might not, provide you with so much of opportunities as Mumbai or Bangalore or Delhi, right? And as you say, like, yesterday you said that the top 3 campuses, as I told you, there's no criteria for top 3 centers. I told you that all centers are important, right? But as I said, like, as culture, people, what experience you have in that particular city, what kind of people you deal with, what kind of business opportunities that you get are equal, they play an important role in selecting the campus. For instance, Panchkula opened last year, and there's a lot of admissions in Panchkula because it's closer to Delhi, right? And a lot of students took admissions in Panchkula. Now it's a very new center. The first time they have actually it's their first batch actually, right? But a lot of admissions into Panchkula because of the location, its vicinity to Delhi, right? So over there, a lot of preferences, your preferences will change. Your options will change depending on your rank, right? As Mansi said that she was getting Mumbai, but she took Bangalore, right? So what her personal preferences might be quite different, right? As far as the most important question, like, how do we choose the centers? So it depends on your rank, of course. Then secondly, it depends, on the opportunities that you get when it comes to you.
So what if I get, so there's a dilemma if I choose Delhi or Mumbai or Bangalore. If I'm like the best student according to them, if I perform really good in CTK, so what do you think we should go for? Delhi for specifically?
That we'll talk about, Anushka, in the class, okay?
So there's like, still we do have any idea, right? I mean, what's the best
we'll
center
discuss
for
all about it, or we will discuss all about it in the class, okay? This will be part of your mentorship program where we will teach you, we'll let you know about each and every city, how different it is, what kind of experience you might find out there, right? And those things actually affect you. Yes. You're from Delhi, right, Anushka?
No, I'm from Jaipur.
Jaipur. So yeah, so different kind of experience. You must have gone to Delhi, so Delhi feels comfortable with you, right?
I'm gone to everywhere, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi. I mean,
so yeah, then you understand the cities better, right? For Mansi, the options were quite different. The reasons might have been personal, the reasons might have been different, maybe some professional or something, anything. So a lot of factors actually influence the decision-making process.
So can we ask, like, what made her choose Bangalore over Mumbai in her opinion?
No, it's up to her to say. If she says it's my personal reason, then I cannot push her to,
No, can we ask, like, Mansi, do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, see, for MFM, I had a word with many of my seniors, and comparatively, if you look, as I told you, Bangalore is a hub for startups. So if I want to open my own brand or something like that, so I'll get comparatively better knowledge here, better exposure here. That is my personal view. But if you want to join NIFT Mumbai, it is also good. See, if a person is joining NIFT Jodhpur, for example, he might get a better understanding of local craft and art. And who knows, like, he might make a brand out of it. So you have to take the opportunity and you have to shape